to see hot Monday evening in our world. How's it going? What's going on, Mike?
Not much, man. I had a pretty good weekend. Um, on didn't do anything really on Friday night, but Saturday, Saturday I got to go see my son play all weekend. Actually, um, he got to play because they played in the semifinals and finals of the state U12 state tournament, and they won in PKs. So that was Sunday. Sunday was an excellent day. Lucas probably wasn't at his best because had that seasonal chest cold that comes along with the allergy seasons and stuff, and he had like this terrible chest thing, this terrible head thing, and it cleared up by this morning. But he was just maybe not at his best, but he worked his butt off out there. Um, he just put in ball after ball after ball, like right through the mixer. Just there wasn't anybody there, but they played. God damn, they play 30-minute halves, and really really killed it. They got through the championship game. Had to go into extra time, so it's 2 10-minute halves, and then PKs, and it came down to it would have come down to Lucas, getting the fifth shot in to win the game. Unfortunately, one of his ex teammates missed their shot. One of his ex teammates was on the other team, and he missed his shot, and they ended up winning. So it was a good weekend altogether. On top of that, I got to see Trey Anastasio band up in Montreal. Got home at 2 a.m. Went to work. Woke up for work at 4:45 a.m. And made it through the day without dying. So, and here I am.
Mike, you were acting like you're still 25, man. When are you gonna freaking grow up and quit going to overnight 2 a.m. return home from concerts?
The plan was to have somebody cover for me at work today. It didn't go to plan.
So you're still planning like a 25-year-old as well, is what I'm hearing, right?
No. That person moved on to another job, so I had to take my shift back.
Gotcha.
Should have just asked me.
I could have just asked Steve.
Yeah.
I know how to look busy. Hey, not now. I'm working here.
Speaking of Steve, how's it going, man? First of all, what's that shirt? I feel like I recognize it, but I'm not sure what it is.
Burlington Beer Company.
That's what I thought it was, yeah.
I thought it was Manchester City.
Not quite. Not quite. Although,
which would have been a little bit on the nose,
Two on the nose for sure. How you doing, Steve? What's going on?
I'm doing well. Got to catch a great match. I watched one great match, and then I loudly complained about a second great match that occurred later in the day. But I'll start with that one because it's just the intro. We're talking through the fun stuff now. We'll get to the Spurs stuff in a bit. Not that that's not fun, but our Vermont Green kicked off the season last night with a 3-0 win against Boston City. Can't stream a fucking game FC.
Yeah, you're not pleased with the way.
Well, they had posted, we're gonna have a live stream of the game, and then nothing. There was nothing. We got no communication from them until like 5 minutes before the end of the first half, where they're like, we have technical difficulties. And then they never came back to say, like, okay, are you going to fix it? Is somebody looking at it? Like, is there a teenager in the stadium with an iPhone that can just live stream it for us? I mean,
what's really funny too, Steve, is I was sitting there at the venue, at the music venue, waiting for the band to come on, and I'm trying to stream it too. I went onto their social media and their Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and immediately got banned for voicing my opinion on their non-existent stream.
Really?
So I've been banned by two teams in the Northeast Division of the USL too.
Well, they should get their shit together.
Hey,
that sounds like something you should be proud of, Mike. But I don't know. I don't know if you should be proud of that or not.
I'm super proud of it.
Win's a win,
BC, Boston City FC, and the Sea Ghost United.
Sea Ghost
Sea Ghost, coast to coast.
Steve, what's the latest on the housing updates with things for sale and making offers and whatnot?
Oh, we're in a pretty good spot. We'll get we should hear the results of our seller. The people buying our house, they're getting their inspection results tomorrow,
Nice.
apparently.
Yep.
So we should, in theory, be buttoned up there. But from what it sounds like, they're pretty desperate because they're literally renting out an Airbnb until they close on a house.
All right.
And Airbnb is not cheap, so they want to get things moving. And I got conditional approval on my mortgage, and none of the conditions are on me; they're all on the lender. So
good.
Everything's looking good.
Very good. Very good.
I did have to fight some people over the weekend because my dad and I share a name, and trying to get a financial institution to write you a letter proving that you are not the person that owns that account is like pulling teeth.
No kidding.
No kidding. I also share a name with my father, and the same thing happened.
The thing that really pissed me off.
Wait, are you guys both juniors or just share first name?
First and last, yeah. Middle name's different.
Middle name's different. How about you?
I am a junior.
You're I did not know. How has this not come up before?
I don't know.
Never asked.
Wow. Geez, I thought I knew a guy, and
you should have asked for our entire
you just
tree,
don't.
Lineage.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know him.
Man.
But yeah, well, I asked. I said, I just need.
And everybody is frozen.
Give me his name. And just like date of birth or last four of his social, just something unique that shows that he's not me.
Yeah.
And they give me the whole spiel. Oh, we can't do that. Privacy concerns, yada, yada, yada. Eventually, they said, look, how about this? We'll write a letter and we'll sign it and we'll put our contact information on if somebody wants to verify it. And next to their name, we'll put the last four of the social. And I was like, that's what I asked for. That's what I asked for hours ago. Like, are you guys just deliberately fucking with me here?
Everybody's trying to steal money nowadays, Steve.
Scams everywhere. And that's the unfortunate part is there's scams everywhere, right? There's people legit trying to do that to you. But you pay the price,
look,
right? It makes it hard to do anything.
Hey, if anybody understands scams, it's me. I mean, look at how much we paid for Ndombele.
Fair.
That was a scam.
That was
scam.
That was good. Steve's bringing out the yolks early. That's pretty good.
How many years later and he's still complaining about it?
I know, Ndombele. That was 2019. So yeah, we are at the 5-year mark here. That's pretty hilarious.
So what? He can go on a free next year? Is that the deal?
Hey, before we get to the football, I want to give you guys a quick update. Last time we were together, maybe I told you we had a full house underway. So had my mom in town, my oldest son in town, my youngest son came in town. So we were packed, and everybody survived and had a good time. So got that time spent and had a nice Mother's Day with all the mothers. And I'm excited looking ahead. I don't think I've shared this with you guys. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. No. 2 weekends from now. 3 weekends from now. Going down to Fenway to see the Savannah Bananas play on June 8th. So excited about that. Actually, you knew that because I got the tickets from Nick. So,
Yeah.
Old news for you guys, but to all of our listeners. My sister, who we know is a loyal listener, she's going to be kind of pissed when she hears that I'm going to see Savannah Bananas at Fenway. But
the Bananas are cool, man. I like the show they put on. That's pretty cool. And you get to see them at Fenway.
That'll be
so
good.
I'm not too familiar. Is there any relation to the Bananas in Pajamas?
Yes, basically the same ownership group, and they model everything off the song "Bananas in Pajamas."
Excellent.
Yeah.
In fact, they play Bananagrams as well.
Banana phone.
All right. I'm glad it's the end of the season, guys.
You're glad? What am I going to do? Oh, wait. We have Vermont Spurs, so we at least have a couple of weeks of extended soccer.
Yeah.
So to transition to the football talk, do you mind if I just make an opening comment and just let you guys go loose on it? Go loose.
Sure.
Turn you loose on it. Don't go loose on it.
Footloose.
That, Mike, you'll appreciate this statement more than Steve, but I think Steve will understand. Watching that match from yesterday, was probably the most boring football match I've ever watched in my life, especially with 3 goals scored. It had the feel of, it felt like watching a baseball game that you don't care about. You know what I mean? Like you're just sitting there and like it's wonderful background noise because there's not really any like excited noise going on. It's just kind of a lull. It's the type of scenario where you almost could fall asleep and take a nap because the game's just sort of going on in the background, and you wouldn't be that concerned about taking a nap because you're like, yeah, I'm not really going to miss anything. Like that's the way I felt in watching the match from yesterday. I'm curious, did anybody else feel that way, or do you see yesterday's events any differently? What do you think?
I think that like I had the same kind of feeling. I didn't watch it all live because of Lucas's game going on and stuff, and I was just catching up on highlights and scores, that kind of stuff during his match, and did the full rewatch. I got home for a good portion of the second half, but did the full rewatch today, and it was like I was thinking like, is it the same? Is it the same feeling that I would have had I watched it live? Like almost, almost knowing that all we needed was a draw. I felt a little detached. I'm almost again like happy that the season's over.
I get it.
It's been a weird season, and it's because there have been no like long runs of winning. It's like, like I said, you feel a little detached because we had that awesome run that basically propelled us to the spot we're in right now, right? Because after Christmas, everything just kind of went, bleh, it was one of the weirdest times I've ever had watching Spurs. Like just that feeling of, all right, we got the first goal, likely. It's likely we're getting our Europa League, and
we're probably good, right?
Yeah, and we're probably good. That's not to say I didn't watch the match. I watched the whole match. I watched it in double speed, without most of the commentary on.
Pedro Porro's goal was super fast on double speed.
Holy shit, dude!
Yeah. Steve, were you at McKee's? Did you watch it live?
Yeah.
So what was
to
that
the
like?
best of our ability.
Yeah, what was that like with other people? Because I think Mike and I had the similar like rewatch after the fact kind of experience.
So we had some technical issues with Peacock at the bar where it kept buffering at the most inopportune times. So it buffered right before Porro's goal, and then we came back and it was 2-0, and we're like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So all of us at the bar caught the highlight of it like later on in the game.
Gotcha.
And it was still exciting. Great goal. But I think at that point, after we were 2-0 up and we were having these stupid technical issues with Peacock, it just kind of turned more into a conversation where the 8 of us just sat around like chatting about Spurs, and
there was a game on in the background, basically.
Well, yeah, for as much of the game that we could get on in the background.
Got it.
But no, it was good. I feel like a lot of the vibe at the bar was pretty relaxed, pretty mellow. Nobody felt like there was any pressure. I mean, aside from like the one scare early on where Dragoshin's header, just sucked, and he let that guy through on goal. There wasn't really anything else to worry about. I mean, it's Sheffield. If we lost to Sheffield, I think that would have been just embarrassing.
They were historically bad, right? Like lowest number of points by any team in the Prem ever.
Yeah, lowest scoring team as well.
Minus 69 goal difference, thanks to us.
Just the way we drew it up.
The way we drew perfect. It up. Which is funny because like earlier in the season we needed the late winner,
Yeah, we were talking about that too, and how their time wasting came back to bite them. They didn't try time wasting yesterday. That's for damn sure.
I mean, there were a lot of games that like were quote unquote meaningless. So a lot of teams just didn't show up. I think with this game, post this game, you're going to get a lot of people talking about. We could have, if we had played better against City or beat City, we could have taken the Champions League spot, yada yada yada. But like, Aston Villa didn't put a team out there that was gonna go out there and compete. They had already locked up their spot. They didn't want injuries. They happily took the 5-0 loss or whatever it was, 5-1. Crystal Palace probably would have put up a fight against any team that Villa put out there, but like they just, Villa cashed it in for the season. They didn't have anything to fight for.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like that with a lot of matches. And, I won a whole bunch of money because of that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
There's no
Because,
guarantees in football.
yeah, I won $450 on an 8-game parlay,
Nice.
just betting on the teams that were going to win easily.
Right.
You
For you, Mike.
No, it is good for me. It doesn't mean I'm going to go out and waste all that money now.
I think that should go in the Wicked Spursy slush fund. Don't you agree, Steve?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can that buy us?
I don't know. You never know. It could buy us another Wicked Spursy flag. So I mean that's just the way. I think that's it's kind of a relief. The end of the season has come. It's a relief. It's over. We can move on from all of the silliness that happened around transfers in January, transfers last summer, how we're going to play with a new coach. What are we going to do about all these injuries? What are we going to do about the guys that were missing at AFCON? What are we going to do about about Romero and his brash tackling, and his yellow cards? Like, a lot of that stuff corrected itself. A lot of that stuff, stuck around. The injuries continued to happen throughout the season. And like I've always said, I'm a next man up guy. I always think that like the next guy in line should come in and do the same job. Like you're there for a reason. You have that opportunity. Maybe you don't have as much quality, but the next man, you can't sit there and make excuses because you have a whole shitload of injuries. That's Arsenal fan, mentality. That's the mentality of these teams that should be good. The Man United mentality. Oh, we have all these injuries. That's why we're losing. No, you're losing because you have shit tactics and your players aren't playing as a team. That's why you lose. And that happened to us too. A lot.
Great points. As an aside, I wonder if $450 is enough for all of us to get like Wicked Spursy knuckle tattoos. I think that's the way to go with it.
It's too many letters, Steve.
Well, you'd have to hack and slash it together. You can't just take it all in, but I don't know. Maybe it could work.
That's why love and hate works, right?
How about just like Spursy?
Spursy.
It's cool. I'm taking it back.
You do it first.
Yeah. Let's see it on you, Steve, and then we'll make our decisions.
So, all right, bringing it back to Spurs and the game. There are a couple players that I wanted to call out against Sheffield, because even though we all felt bored mostly watching it, and there wasn't really a whole lot of excitement or anything to play for, there were still some players I thought who shone and did really well in their positions, and a couple that I felt were just flat and unimpressive. And starting with the latter, I think James Maddison is a guy who really either needs a break or some time to just sit, because he just did not look all that put together out there.
He needs a body language coach.
Yeah, I don't know. He just seemed like he was popping up all over the place, but nothing was coming off, and it's not that he looked disinterested. He just looked frustrated with himself, and it showed in his performance.
And he's going to play for England in the summer in Euros, and he's going to be happy and jolly and go lucky and
then he'll break his ankle in the last game that they play, which will be some meaningless friendly that has no implication on them.
They have Euros.
He'll wait to break his ankle until the Australia or South Korea tour. That's when that'll happen.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
So wasn't super impressed with Madison. I really wish we could have gotten, like a Donnelly or somebody out there earlier just to give the experience. I mean, we were already up, we were in control, we were dominant. Mikey Moore could have gotten some more time. I felt even Dane Scarlett probably deserved some more time. But I will say one of the things that I liked from what I saw was Kulusevski through the middle. I thought when he found his way in that almost like fake 9 position,
Mm-hmm.
he was doing some work. He was getting into some good positions. He was strong on the ball, something that Son was kind of failing at in his time as the number 9. He doesn't quite have that technical ability to like get that extra yard or two of space and take the shot, but his hold up play and bringing others into the game was excellent. And he did end up with a pair of great goals, not as spectacular as Pedro Porro, but they were still well deserved. Right place, right time. I just loved watching him operate more in that central forward position, which just begs the question: why wasn't he doing that sooner? Why did we keep him more as a midfielder or on the right? Especially when we needed somebody strong to hold up the play in that focal point.
I think I think these last 2 games you have and just kind of tinkering, and it's why didn't you do that earlier in the season? That kind of stuff. But he finally started tinkering. He kind of put Sar in that false 9 position in the City game. Dropped Decky in there this time. Like Decky's going to be a guy who's like Decky's strong, so he's going to be able to play probably a pretty effective 9. Like that ball that the first goal that he put in was perfectly struck. It was perfect. That was Florida man like type finishing. It was Munich man type finishing. Like he's a guy who's going to be able to receive the ball with his back to the goal, turn and shoot. Like he knew where the goal was before he shot the ball. He didn't even have to look at the goal. And the other caveat there too, Steve, is that it's Sheffield United, right?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, like your best defender is Trusty, right? which is an unfortunate name for a defender.
Terrible name.
But I mean, they were getting beat all over the field the entire game, and
they were getting frustrated too.
And Spurs weren't like it. For me, like it didn't look like they were going 1,000%. In the City game, they were going 1,000%. As far as I'm concerned.
Did you guys catch? I tried to watch it over and over. What happened on that situation where the ref pulled the red card and then VAR waved it off? Like I couldn't actually figure out what the incident was.
Sonny might have. Listen, Sonny would have got, if this was hockey, he would have gotten 2 minutes in the penalty box for embellishment.
Yeah,
because the guy came up behind him and kind of like gave him a little bit of a knee to the side, and Sonny, he didn't really. Like he was going to give him kind of a dead leg, it looked like,
right?
But it turned around, and like it just turned out that like it looked like he just kind of kneed Sonny, and it looked like he hit him in the nuts. And then Sonny went down like somebody shot him from the fucking,
he did,
from the cheap seats.
Sonny,
there was for me there was nothing in that, man.
No, there wasn't. I could see, from a ref perspective, maybe it kind of looked like violent conduct. But that's probably one of those instances where VAR came in and did some good.
Right.
For once, did it need to take quite that long?
Right.
No, it didn't. But I mean, it was the right decision, I guess. Not something that we've been able to say about VAR often this season.
Well, the good thing is the Supporters Trust has taken a survey of its members about VAR, so I mean they're on it.
Yeah, the Supporters Trust can shove it.
So I'd like to propose a little talking point here.
What?
Since
Hey, Mike,
since we
are
didn't,
we going there? Is that where we are?
well, I don't know, maybe sure, why not?
Well,
I
just
mean,
No, go ahead
one
though.
more play I want to
Let's hear.
call out
You
before
had an
we
actual talking point too.
step away from the game. I want to get your guys' opinion on Dragishian just bodying that guy off Vicario.
That's why he's there.
that's why he's there. I mean,
Yeah.
Romero should be doing that. Dragoshin is a big, strong dude. I think he is going to thrive at Tottenham. He hasn't gotten a lot of game time because he didn't have preseason with the team. He didn't have that time to bet in, and there wasn't an absolute immediate need for him.
But you know what? He
when
comes
he got
across
there.
as really gracious in his end of the season post, talking about how welcome he felt and how excited he is. I mean,
much better than his agent, who's
his
a
agent needs to
toolbox, right?
shut the fuck up.
His agent would, you know what? Take that, whatever that guy says, with a grain of salt. He probably does a really good job for Radu, but
Right, valid.
I mean, he's just a wanker on social media.
But
He's
you're
trying
right.
to,
He's got a job to advocate for his client, and hey, he does that. You can't fault the guy for that.
yeah. The best ones in the world do the same shit.
Yeah.
Like Drew
Was it Harry
Rosenhaus used to do
Kane's
that
brother?
shit,
Oh, yeah.
right? Drew Rosenhaus used to do the same shit in the
all
NFL.
that
And
nonsense.
yeah. So
Mike, you had a talking point. What did you want to throw out before?
yeah, my talking point. Well, we didn't get to. And I know it's probably because we didn't talk in the immediate aftermath of Man City.
Don't get me started.
No, we're just. I won't get. I'm going to get you started, but we don't have to like dwell on it because
Finish him.
it's been hashed over and hashed over and hashed over. Enough of this bullshit that you want your fucking team to lose. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't give a shit what your situation is in your life, how many fucking gooners you're gonna encounter on the street that are gonna give you a bunch of shit. If you can't get over that, you need to fucking grow up.
But my mates from childhood are going to give me the business.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
no.
you know what? I actually have probably more gooner friends than I do Spurs friends.
Well,
And
we need to talk about that, Mike. But understood.
and they, of course they give me shit every single day, constantly, all day, every day. And I gave them shit too when they were sitting there behind Spurs for 5 years in a row, way further down the table, not making Europe one year. It's we're gonna do that. We're gonna give each other shit, but in the end, we're humans. You can't call them your friend if you can't take criticism and a little bit of ragging. So stop with that nonsense. You don't want your team to lose ever. Like in my situation, I try to think of it this way, and I know baseball is it's a different sport, and the playoff structure is different, and in that there is a playoff structure. But I thought of it this way: if the Boston Red Sox had a chance to win the division, if they won the game, or if they lost the game, they didn't win the division, but it put them down into the wild card game, but kept the Yankees out of the playoffs, because Boston Red Sox versus New York Yankees is a very, very, very comparable rivalry to Arsenal and Spurs. Very, very. I would say fuck that. I want the fucking division. Let the Yankees play for the wild card. Let them have to play that extra game. I don't want my team to play that extra game. I don't want my team to, if it were that big of a deal, then maybe we should have taken care of Arsenal when we had the chance. If it were that big of a deal to people,
we had to collect points during the year that we didn't.
Right, there were a number of points that we dropped that could have put us up into second or third.
Yeah, for me, it's not even about the rivalries or the banter or anything like that. It's just a loser mentality. You want your team to lose, that's loser mentality. End of story. If Arsenal had won the Premier League and you're upset because, we beat Man City, so Arsenal wins, loser mentality. You want to stop Arsenal from winning? Fucking win more than they do.
Right. And
Yeah.
and I think that kind of brings me into the next point here. And the next point is that this is, and Ange was right in it. I get that maybe he could have said it in a different way. He was pissed off. He was pissed off. And sure, he came out and kind of walked back his comments, which everybody was like all up in arms. They're calling it like Conte rehash.
He didn't really walk back his comments. Like
No, he didn't.
he held his ground. In
He
fact,
did,
you could
but
argue
he did it in a
punked
way
all the fans.
he did it in a way that he probably should have done it in the immediate aftermath.
Yeah.
I think that he's very passionate. All he cares about is winning. He doesn't necessarily understand the rivalry. If it was something like American sports has rivalries, like I don't know what the comparable Australian sport rivalry is or whatever teams that he supports rivalry is, but I just think that his words could have been a little more wisely chosen. I think it was the very one time this season that maybe he was a little bit off base. The subject matter wasn't off base, but his wording was, and his kind of his venom was it was just a little bit misplaced for me. But in the end, he was absolutely fucking right. Loser mentality. We need to get that shit out of this club, and that's an extra part of his job that he's got to do.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like, think about it. If you're okay losing at all, how are you ever going to be winners? You should never be okay losing if you want to be a real winner. Losing should light that fire under you to do better, to improve, to change, to grow. I mean, not just in the world of soccer, football, whatever, but just as people too. If you're consistently losing and you're okay with that, like, what kind of life is that?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. That they say it's not that we want to lose every game. We just wanted to lose that one game, and I get that rivalries are really tough to deal with.
Moving the goalposts a little bit. Oh, I'm okay losing this one game. Well, what if it took 2 games to lose to ensure that
And the players themselves didn't have that mentality,
Yeah,
I heard one podcast say that Sonny missed that on purpose. No.
I don't
he didn't.
That for a minute.
His touch got away from him. His touch got away from him like it has all season, and the ball got a little too far out in front of him, and he tried to recover, and he just couldn't lift the ball up over his leg.
Look, for all the criticism I've thrown at Son in the latter half of this season, the dude's a professional. He's not going to do shit like that. The main criticisms that I have aren't his dedication to winning or anything like that. It's more that he's just fucking tired. He's overworked and he lets himself get to be overworked.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a break. He needs to relax, rest up. He's not a sprightly young youth anymore, which just kind of really hurt me because he's still younger than me. And now I feel sad. So I'm going to need my safe space. Well, I've got a drink, so I'll take that. And,
good segue,
while I'm having a little cry over here,
wallow in your can of suds.
Yeah, is there anything maybe that needed to be asked today?
Well, yeah. So I've got a question, and actually, Mike, I need to ask you a favor. We've got a technology change here with this recording. Mike, I've realized just because I'm poking around, you are getting me on my built-in laptop mic right now. You're not getting me on my mic, and it won't let me change it while I'm recording. So if it's okay with you, I might hop off and come back on and see if I can get my better mic. Is that all right? If
you can do that. Oh yeah, it does say external microphone.
But you'll be dead to us.
Yeah. No, it says you have a built-in external microphone.
Yes, but that's just my built-in one. I've got the one I plugged in is
yeah. It sounds great, but
cool. I'm gonna sound even better when I come back.
All right.
You can leave this all in. The people, they like the behind-the-scenes stuff. I think our fans really do.
Oh, great. Yeah.
The techno babble. But before I do that, Mike, got a question for you. I'm wondering, it's been a couple weeks, been a handful of weeks. Hey, Mike, what are you drinking?
I don't know yet, Dave. I'm trying to get the beer delivered to me as we speak.
Oh, so it's like a grab bag. You don't really know what's coming, huh?
Watch this. This is going to be live. This is going to happen live.
Beer delivery.
A live beer delivery.
Where can I get one of those?
She's coming right now with the beer.
Ooh.
It's the black bottle.
Black Label.
The black label.
Most excellent. Mike, is it 1,000,000 degrees?
It is 1,000,000 degrees. So another thing, while we're waiting for Dave to jump back on, another thing that happened today. Thank you very much. And I'll need that bottle opener up there. It doesn't matter. So Dave is back on.
Yeah. How do I sound, boys? Do I sound better?
Well, yes.
Radio voice back.
Well, the thing is, Dave, that's happening right now is that it says you're recording, but you have 0% uploaded. Oh, 99%. There we go. We're back on again. So we're in. So Dave, while you were gone, you have your external microphone now hooked up. Steve and I were talking about how it's 1,000,000,000 degrees outside. What happened to me today was that while I was driving home, my wonderful 11-year-old car decided to lose its fan.
Corolla?
Yeah, it lost its fan.
Oh, that's too bad.
Like the in-cabin fan.
Yeah.
So like I had to roll the windows down and go old school on it and just try and get the air through my car that way.
Yeah.
But the air was so hot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough.
The only thing that's great is it's providing us with all of this lovely electricity that we have here at the Popovich household. So
sounds like somebody just invested in a solar array.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right. And my bill last month was minus $14.
That's fantastic. Good stuff.
So guys, Dave, you asked the question.
What do you got? You got the delivery, speedy delivery, just like
I do have the speedy delivery, just like on Mr. Rogers. So what I have here today is from Lawson's Finest Liquids. It is a wee heavy. I gotta learn how to use this new camera.
You like the wee heavy, don't you?
I do. Yeah. We went over what a wee heavy is, but this one is barrel aged.
It's not heavy. Like that's the thing about the wee heavy that I learned from you, Michael.
It's just
correct.
They're not heavy.
They're not heavy. They're not a heavy beer. This one is aged in whiskey barrels. So in rye whiskey barrels.
Yeah, that's what when they do that special bottle edition. That's what those are, right?
Yeah. This bottle was a little bit pricey, and I did it for the final episode.
What'd you spend on that bad boy?
I did it for the alcohol.
What did I spend on this bad boy? It was at least $18.
Yeah. So ballpark price. Got it.
Yeah. So I mean, this beer is going to be smooth again. It's going to be malty. Like we just had a heavy, not too long ago, right? Yeah. But this is gonna have that if anybody's ever had a good rye whiskey, it's gonna have a nice peaty quality, like very smoky, very very refined taste, and it's gonna have that whiskey burn at the back end. I bet. Just going to be layers and layers and layers of flavor just coming at you. I'm going to pour it in my taste like
you're talking this thing up before you get after it, man. I don't know. You might be setting yourself up for.
I could be. But I'm expecting just
layers and layers.
So this is from Lawson's Finest Liquids. It's one of the better breweries in the country, and it's one of my favorite places to go to have a beer when I get down that way. This is 1 pint and 0.9 ounces. Yeah. So I'm going to just get right into this. I'm hoping there's going to be some smokiness, some peatiness, a little bit of like vanilla coming out of this bad boy.
Steve, while Mike's pouring, what you drinking over there, buddy? What do you got today? Yeah, you, Steve.
I'm drinking my strawberry whale cake.
Oh, you're a fan of that. Yeah.
I love the strawberry whale cake. It's so nice and refreshing, especially when it's about 1,000,000,000 degrees out.
I too am going with strawberry. Strawberry watermelon lemonade, truly. Yes, sir. Delighted.
Now talk about waves of flavor.
Waves of flavor. You can taste the aspartame in it. Delicious.
I bet you can. I bet you can. 0 calories, but it'll fuck you up.
That's right.
It'll get you drunk.
That's exactly what I was going for. Yep, dark amber red.
Pretty. I like it.
Great head on it. Smells great. Oh yeah, yeah. It smells like rye. I'm very excited about this. I love rye beers. I love rye whiskey. It's like that spicy, malty aftertaste that I just love. Um, I'm gonna like this. I already know I'm gonna like it.
Here comes the first reaction sip. Steve, you ready for it? Oh, he's going big there.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
This is always telling.
Message everybody. I don't want to message everybody. I just
This tastes like whiskey.
It's a boozy one, is it?
It's not real boozy. It just has that whiskey. It's got a whiskey barrel taste. It's not. It's not a little. It's not very overpowering.
Do you like that, Mike? Like I don't love boozy beers because I just feel like if I want booze, I'm going to drink booze. So do you like that?
I don't even know what's the alcohol. 9% on this. I like boozy beers if I can sit there and sip on them. I'm not going to go after a triple IPA or a Belgian triple that often.
Mm-hmm.
But this beer it's a good sipping beer. I'm very excited to have this beer. And honestly, now like the vanilla is there. It's really really smooth, so it's easy to drink. A lot of these like big bold whiskey barrel aged beers are just like crazy boozy, but this just has that taste. It has that vanilla. It's not really as peaty as I thought it would be, not as smoky as I thought it would be, but you can taste that it's been in a whiskey barrel.
Got it. Understood.
It's well worth it. It's well worth the money.
I got a quick question for you, Mike. I'm trying to figure this out. I don't see a way that Steve and I can privately message each other within our chat. Steve, do you have a pathway for me?
I've got my number typed out, and when Mike's ready to go, I'm just gonna hit enter.
Okay, I'll do the same. Let me get mine.
No, I guess there is no way to do that, is there?
This is gonna be a fun little twist where like it's boom, is it instant feedback from Mike, and we haven't calibrated.
No, it is what it is, I guess.
So, Mike, you tell us when you're ready for us to pump out our.
You guys, there is this thing called texting that you guys can do.
That's too much effort.
Dude, we're looking for a one-stop technical solution, my man. This is what I'm here for.
I'll figure this out on the back end, and we'll wrap this back around next season, and we'll come at you with the hardcore stuff.
So
and if not, I'll make
next season is what you're
a nice reach around,
yeah.
A nice friendly reach around.
Very good.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's hear it from you, and then you go 3, 2, 1, and then I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. We need to hear your rating first before we share ours, right?
Yes. Have you written it down?
I've written it down.
I'm in. I'm ready.
This is going to be like Password or like one of those 1970s or 80s game shows where like you guess something and then you guys got to hold up your paper and show.
Steve, if we're on, I have a feeling if we're both there, this is going to be big. What do you got?
Are you ready?
Yep. I'm ready.
4.0.
Ooh.
We were close. We split the difference ish. Not too
Not
bad.
bad.
Not too bad. 4.0.
Yeah.
So
3.8 and 4.1.
Getting into.
Even though we took a few weeks off, you guys still got it dialed in. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're pretty good at that. But I didn't hear some of the keys that I usually hear from you that tell me you're getting up into the fours. So what puts this one in the fours for you?
Reach around. What more do you want?
So what puts this one into a 4 for me? The fact that it's got that taste of the whiskey without the burn of the whiskey, and it doesn't taste like a 9% beer.
Yeah.
It's a little heavier than I would expect a wee heavy to be.
It's a wee bit heavy.
Just a wee.
It's just a wee bit heavy. It's actually kind of getting into the range of like a red ale or even close to a porter. It's a little bit heavier, but like the fact that you can taste that vanilla, you can taste that whiskey barrel. It's just, and it's just not overpowering. It's not something like you take a drink of it and the smell overpowers you, or the burn on the alcohol burn on the back end overpowers you. This is just good beer, man. And Lawson's knows what they're doing. They do their shit right.
Very good. Very, very good. Steve, I forgot to ask you earlier. Coach Steve with the U4 squad. How things playing out, buddy? What's it looking like? You got a team
Mate,
this year?
Well, Dave, I'm glad you asked. I do have a team. It's U4s. What kind of team?
Well, they're as much of a team as you make them, Steve. I
It's
mean, I'm banking on this.
it's been an experience. It's less tactics and more. Please don't eat grass. Don't punch me right in that at all, but especially not in that very head
the
level
area.
In
area.
the sensitive area. Yeah.
Yep.
Side hugs only, right? It's hug me on my hip if you're gonna hug me.
It's yeah. Look, it's been a lot of fun. I got some pretty positive feedback from one of the parents today, whose kid is apparently enjoying it. So that's been great.
Good.
Um,
How's Isaac handling dad as coach? That's a new experience, right?
yeah, but I think he's just more excited to get out, run around, and
Sure.
play with some of these kids. He does try to push the envelope a little bit, but no, he's been great helping out some of the other kids who've started, who missed like the first practice and came on late, and needed somebody to practice with. So it's just been good having him around, and I think it'll be one of those fun things as a parent to see how he grows and develops
Nice.
over time.
Nice. We want a Romero caliber center back is what we are rooting for. That's what we want to see.
You just got to convince him that it's not all guts and glory, when you're not scoring goals. But I'm expecting the next great far post center back. So
Nice.
that's what you need to develop him into before he gets to far post, Stephen.
All right,
He
I
too could
will.
be a state champion,
No problem.
heading on a surprise visit to West Virginia in a couple of weeks.
West
Oh boy, that sounds like a
Virginia,
pleasure trip.
Oh
Mountain
yeah, well we'll see,
Enjoy.
we'll see.
take me home.
They sprung
Country
this tournament
roads.
on us recently, so I was like,
Almost heaven. West
take
Virginia.
me home,
There we go. Yes.
country road
It's a great song. You cannot argue with that song.
to the place
No, I dare you to
I
show me somebody who
belong.
isn't into it
Yeah,
because they're just wrong.
They're lying if they're not.
They're wrong. End of story.
Boys, I know you're going to be befuddled by this, but we're kind of approaching closing thoughts time o'clock.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you
The
got? Steve?
passage of time?
The time flies. Time passes, especially when three intelligent lads like us get together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, what's on your mind? Closing thoughts. What do you think?
Closing thoughts. We got we're right at the beginning of this rebuild, right? There's lots of bumps in the road. We had a lot of bumps in the road first year with Ange. I'm glad that the fan base who was pissed off on Tuesday is less than pissed off now. We have a lot of rebuilding to do. We have to get rid of some of the dead weight, some of the players that don't work well. I'm talking about you, Hoiberg. I'm talking about you, Emerson. I'm talking about you, Gio. I love you, and I think that you're a fantastic player. But if you can't stay healthy, you can't be on the Spurs club. So, I mean, there's going to be guys talking about you and Domblay. If
We're
you
gonna
can't
sell
stop
you
eating
one of these
McDonald's,
days.
if you can't stop eating those McDonald's fries with the mayonnaise, you can't be on this team.
When is his contract
Oh,
up,
God.
by the way? Like, when is it actually done?
Okay, think of Bobby Bonilla.
Right? 25 years, 25 million.
How long did the Mets pay him?
They're still paying him. They're
Strangely
literally
enough, they're still paying Mo Vaughn too.
long gone, move on.
We got a lot of guys we got to get rid of. There's going to be a lot of guys that need to come in. We're in Europe next year, so we can't just walk in there with the same squad that we have this year.
We'll get fried.
We have to get rid of guys, replace them, and then get more guys. So I expect there to be a lot of stuff happening. And we're gonna have some guys coming back from loans that may be able to contribute. Guys that we weren't necessarily thinking about setting out on loans.
And Mike, I'm thinking just on that note, next week we're going to do kind of our season end.
Yeah.
And we should probably get
We'll cover all this shit.
What we think is going to happen, and like call it out, right? Like that'll be good.
Exactly. And I think that we just have to like be patient. We really have to be patient. And just two things: don't root for your fucking team to lose ever. Right? That don't ever root for your team to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And two, be patient. Be patient. We tried the win now coaches. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
I like what you're saying, Mike. Listen, quick closing thought from me, grabbing onto what you said and connecting to what Steve said. Cut it out with the freaking loser mentality and shut up about your rivalries. Like rivalries in sport or something everybody understands, but cut it out with loser mentality. If we want to win, we should win. We should
guess what I don't do? Guess what I don't do? I don't give a fuck what the Yankees are doing when they're not playing the Red Sox.
No.
I really don't. I don't pine over like, Jesus Christ, the Yankees just won their 10th in a row.
But they're going to get one up on you, Mike. You don't want that.
Yeah.
Cut it with the loser mentality.
We've had Kamal on the show before. He texts me every single day to remind me how bad the Red Sox suck. I could care less what he thinks.
Yeah. Love you, Kamal, but that's stupid, bro. Steve, as you said, cut it with the loser mentality. What do you got for closing thoughts?
I am just going to continue to push Vermont Green on our lovely listeners. We've got another game coming up on Wednesday against BlackRock, which is apparently not the big finance company or whatever the fuck it is they are, but rather a soccer team. If I recall, they weren't very good last year. Sorry about the yelling.
I think they spent one season in Manchester, Vermont. Actually, the BlackRock.
They played the spot that Vermont Fusion played.
Yeah. But then they went back. Are they done in Mass now? Are they Western Mass?
They're in New Hampshire now. They found space in New Hampshire.
Yeah, so we got them on Wednesday, and then we've got our first home game of the season coming up this weekend.
Very nice.
I'm super excited for that. So any of you who are local to Burlington or plan on being in the Burlington area this weekend, I highly recommend checking out Vermont Green. They're playing over at Virtue Field on UVM's campus, and it is a phenomenal time. Rain, sun, doesn't matter. It's always a blast, and I am very much looking forward to being right back in those stands and cheering the team on.
I'd also, while you're talking about that, I'd also like to plug, while we're here, another Wicked Sports production, Wicked Sports Podcast Network production,
really?
United in Green. We will be reporting on both the Boston City games and the BlackRock game on Thursday night, so you can join us on YouTube at unitedandgreenpod.com. United and Green Pod.
Reporting live from these events? Or?
No, unfortunately not. We're not going to be able to get to New Hampshire to watch that game, but
well, that shows your commitment level.
Directly after the next day, we will be doing some. We are, and I'll drop that here right now. We are going to be doing some live podcasts this year from the booth after the game, and we'll have some player interviews and that kind of stuff.
Dave, speaking of commitment, you might be shocked to hear that Mike is actually not going to attend this first home game because apparently his child's game is more important than the Vermont Green. So I can't believe the Vermont Green would schedule a game that would conflict with youth club football schedule.
I have told Patrick 3 years in a row now. Patrick in front of one of the founders. I have told him 3 years in a row now. Please do not schedule the home opener on Memorial Day. And he says, "Got to do it."
He says, "Fuck you, Mike. We're gonna have all of them on Memorial Day."
Patrick would never say "fuck you," but he's very nice. He's a very nice guy. He's a Celtic fan. He told me how much we're gonna love Big Ange. So.
Mike, I know you do United in Green with an Arsenal fan, right?
Yeah, and we also do the Tactics podcast with an Arsenal fan, different Arsenal fan.
I just want to wish you the best of luck as you deal with banter and the shithouse talking that you're going to be dealing with from those guys. I don't know if you're up for handling it. I don't know if you can take it, but I mean, it's really unfortunate that you have to deal with it.
It's going to be good that I'm a Spurs fan and I have thick skin, and I can just kind of deflect and turn it into Vermont Green stuff.
Perfect. I think you'll survive, and I think don't let them show. Don't let them show
like if Adam Pfeiffer was a sporting director and head coach of Arsenal, they may have won the league this year.
Nice. I like it.
With his style of football.
Hey, boys, as we wrap things up, Steve, what would you say to people on the way out the door?
Coys.
And what else would you have to say?
Don't be an asshole.
With a loser mentality. Thank you, Steve.
With a loser mentality, yes.
I like
Don't be an asshole with a... You know what? It doesn't have to be both of them. Don't be a loser. Don't... Well, you can be a loser. I mean,
they don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Somebody's got to lose. Yes, exactly. Don't be an asshole. Don't have a loser mentality.
Definitely
don't be an asshole with a loser mentality.
Precisely. There we have it. Mike, how about you? What would you say on the way out the door?
You know, guys, I just want everybody to go out there, tread lightly, and be safe.
I thought you were gonna be like, the sun's out a lot more. Just wear some high SPF sunscreen.
Look at my face. You see, this is not the lighting. My face is red from the sun.
Is red. Yeah.
I was on the rooftop bar in Montreal yesterday.
Personal banter, it's turning you red.
Wish you luck with it, Michael. What else would you have to say? One final thing.
You know, guys, Tottenham Hotspur action. It's fantastic.